Every major stock market crash starts with the same sentence. This time, it's different. It sounds smart, it feels logical, and it has destroyed more wealth than almost any bad investment decision in history. It's no secret that history repeats itself, and when it comes to the stock market, investors will do whatever mental gymnastics they need to convince themselves that this time it's different. In fact, legendary investor Sir John Templeton, who averaged 15% annual growth for 38 years, called those the four most expensive words in the English language. And he's right, because nothing empties a brokerage account faster than blind optimism dressed up as financial genius. Which brings us to Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore, who is considered a pioneer of speculative trading in the markets, was the basis for the main character in the best-selling book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, and is most well known for making his fortunes by shorting markets during crashes. He once said, "There's nothing new in Wall Street. There can't be, because speculation is as old as the hills. Whatever happens in the stock market today has happened before and will happen again." And there's a stock market bubble that nobody talks about anymore. It's a bubble that looks disturbingly similar to the current state of the market. I'm not talking about the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s or the 2008 financial crisis. I'm talking about a bubble you probably have never heard of. It was a bubble that when it popped, the damage was ugly. The market crashed 50%. Many of the world's largest companies lost 60 to 80% of their value. Inflation surged from 3% to 11%, and the market didn't fully recover for 8 years. I'm talking about the Nifty 50 bubble of the early 1970s. The story starts in the late 1960s. The United States had just ridden a 20-year economic sugar high following World War II. Factories were booming, suburbs were popping out of nowhere like acne on a teenager, and Americans thought the country was invincible. People had money, they had confidence, and most importantly, they had blind optimism. And why wouldn't they? The United States had beaten Germany in World War II, put a man on the moon, allegedly, and most importantly, invented the Etch-a-Sketch. Life was good. From the end of World War II in 1945 all the way to 1970, the U.S. stock market gained over 350%. This unprecedented bull run led to a new investing strategy known as one-decision stocks. The idea was simple. Invest in companies so powerful and so dominant that you only ever had one decision to make: buy. These stocks became known as the Nifty 50. They weren't penny stocks or speculative tech startups. They were blue-chip companies with stable cash flows, companies like Coca-Cola, American Express, McDonald's, and other household names. Investors saw them as bulletproof, and the idea of ever selling them was considered crazy. Here's the thing about investing. If something sounds like a no-brainer investment with zero downside, it's almost always a financial grenade with the pin already pulled. By the early 1970s, the Nifty 50 weren't just expensive, they were priced like gravity didn't exist. While the overall market traded at a reasonable P/E ratio of around 15, Nifty 50 valuations entered fairy tale territory. Coca-Cola traded at 46 times earnings, Xerox at 49, McDonald's at 86, Polaroid at 90. On average, the Nifty 50 traded at 42 times earnings. Now pause for a second, because this is the part of the story most people completely ignore. If you think this sounds uncomfortably familiar, you're not crazy. And if you're investing today without understanding what happened next, you're flying blind. If you care about protecting your money and not just chasing hype, make sure you're subscribed, because what happened after this wiped out a generation of smart investors. At their peak, the top 5 Nifty 50 stocks made up about a quarter of the entire market, while the full group accounted for roughly 45% of the total U.S. stock market. Then came 1973 and 1974. Oil prices quadrupled, inflation surged past 11%, unemployment doubled, President Nixon ended the gold standard. The stock market plunged 50%, marking the worst bear market since the Great Depression. And when the economy fell apart, overpriced stocks didn't correct, they were obliterated. Coca-Cola fell over 60%, McDonald's dropped more than 70%, Polaroid collapsed over 90%. The so-called one-decision stocks turned into one big financial obituary. And the damage wasn't quick. This wasn't a V-shaped recovery. It took 8 years for the market to return to its previous highs. Investors who thought they were buying eternal growth ended up stuck in financial purgatory for nearly a decade. If the current market feels familiar, you're not alone. Mark Twain once said, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes." And today's market rhymes loudly. Back in 1972, the Nifty 50 made up nearly 45% of the market. Today, the Magnificent Seven make up around 36% of the S&P 500. 7 companies, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, and Nvidia, carry the weight of the entire market. They're innovative, they dominate their industries, but so did Xerox, Polaroid, and Avon in 1972. These have become the modern one-decision stocks, and their valuations reflect it. Google and Meta trade at 28 times earnings, Amazon at 35, Apple at 37, Microsoft at 38, Nvidia at 50, Tesla at 247. Are they great companies? Absolutely. Are they overpriced, overweighted, and treated as bulletproof? Also yes. And just like in 1972, investors are telling themselves the same bedtime story. These companies will grow forever. All we're waiting for are a few macroeconomic dominoes to fall. Warren Buffett said it best, "What we learn from history is that people don't learn from history." So here we are again, staring at a top-heavy market, pretending valuations don't matter, and whispering the 4 most expensive words in the English language. This time, it's different.